Welcome to another episode of Andrew's Thoughts On, where I had decided to do more research on something, and today in the shower I was thinking today, I had a date, which went really well, thanks for asking, but as I was in the shower I needed something to preoccupy my mind, so I was thinking, what stuff should I research next for Andrew's Thoughts On, since nobody seems to be giving me ideas. I wonder why. Maybe because nobody can think. But, never mind. But a thought came to me. Now, I know this may sound weird, but I believe in a lot of strange things, like ghosts and Bigfoot and all that shit. And I like to think of myself as a skeptic, so I like to think, could things be possible? And so it came to me that I wanted to figure out if the Yeti, or abominable snowman, as most refer to him, could survive in the climate that he lives in. So I did some research. The most known Yeti sightings, or abominable snowman, as I will start saying from now on because you'll probably get it better, lives in the Himalayas, that huge mountain range. But most sightings are in Nepal and Tibet, two of the most famous places in Himalayas. Nobody else has heard of the rest of the places, so fuck them. I wanted to think. So, they live in Tibet. So I checked Tibet. He has many places to live and find shelter. There could be caves up in the mountains, and sometimes he comes down into the lower mountains to where there is plant life and vegetation. Now, I don't know if the horror movies are correct in him being a meat eater, because he would never be able to get any meat. The only people that have vanished in the Himalayas have been found and have died of natural causes from trying to climb Mount Everest, and they died. But they've never had any chunks taken out of them. So, that basically cancels out the meat eating. So basically, that only leaves one thing. Vegetation. So basically, for Tibet and Nepal, he'd have to come down out of the Himalayas, the high up in the mountain where a lot of the sightings are, in the snow and everything else. And I know a lot of the famous sightings are in the snow, but actually, a lot of them are actually lower down in the mountain. My example and case point being an episode of the Sci-Fi Channel original series, Destination Truth, where they actually went searching, and they actually almost caught him near a river. They found a huge footprint and got some thermal hits on their little thermal camera. But of course, nothing really. And they actually made international news by finding that footprint, which was huge. And they got it verified by none other than a footprint scientist to make sure that it wasn't human and that it wasn't fake. So, it's obvious that he's living there. And the people living in, I think it's Nepal, or one of those places in the Himalayas, actually have a Yeti scalp that has been in their sacred shrine in a fucking glass box, I guess. They're sacred. It's sacred. No one can touch it. Now I know you might be thinking, well, why won't they let anybody run DNA tests on it? It's kind of skeptical, isn't it? It's kind of like, whoa, what's going on? They must be hiding something. But these people keep it as a sacred relic. It's kind of like how Muslims do not want anyone to show an image of Muhammad. Or, I think that's who it was. I don't even know. I should have done research on that too. Anyway. But it's something sacred to them that they're not going to let anyone tamper with. So, even if it is fake, they must not know it. They won't even let anyone get even a hair off of it because it's that sacred. No one can even take it out of the case. So, but even though all the sightings, or most of them, are up in the snow, in the mountaintop, how would he live? How would he adjust to his climate? Well, for one, he has hair all over his body, so he doesn't really need a sweatshirt. There's probably millions of caves, like there are on any mountain, so he would have somewhere to live. And for food, well, he probably has a whole bunch of TV dinners up in the snow, frozen there. Just kidding. Here came my research. I looked up, since the two places that he is most frequent, I looked up the vegetation, since that's the only thing that can be left. If he doesn't eat fish, or meat, or anything, he must eat vegetation. Like probably Bigfoot does. Or he eats Babe Ruth bars, who knows. But in Tibet, I looked. They have 168 edible vegetation. Different species of vegetation, I mean. And in Nepal, they have 41 different edible plants that can be eaten. So he has a huge supply of plant life that he can munch on. He can make a huge salad, who knows? He can do anything. He can make plant stew, vegan stew, whatever the fuck it is. Whatever those crazy hippies eat. I apologize if you're a hippie. I don't have anything against you unless you're rich. I hate rich people. But that's besides the point. So it is possible for somebody to live up there. Or something. Now, I can't prove that he's real or not. I have no evidence. Never been to Nepal. Never had any witnesses. Or never met any witnesses. I've only seen it on TV. And of course, as you know, sometimes TV lies. But that doesn't stop it from being able for the legends to be true. So, if he's out there, hopefully we'll find him one day. Because there is a possibility that somebody can live up there. Or, like I said, something. He may not be a meat eater, like the movies say. But he could be. Something. Well, that's a very thought-provoking thing. No, I wasn't stupid. Andrew, dislike button, smashed. Smash that dislike button, and I don't fucking care. I don't care if you believe in him or not. Because, to be honest, I don't give a shit either way. I understand that many people could fake his footprints. I'm just saying it's possible for him to live up there. I'm just saying. I'm not saying he's real or not. I'm just saying there's a possibility that something could live up there. If there is something. It has shelter, food, and of course, it has a way to stay warm. But that's enough of my jimmer jammer. If you're watching this, I hope you enjoyed. It wasn't really my best idea yet, but if you do want to see some much better thought-provoking things, or at least get my opinions on something, even though you hardly care, watch some of my other ones. I have a very good research set up on caffeine overdose. And I actually have a few thoughts on some movies that I just put out last night, which is actually quite good. If you like movies, then you might want to see my thoughts on them. I'm a very good movie analyzer. They may not be about movies themselves, except for one, but they're a way to improve movies and to help movies get found. So, leave a like if you enjoyed this. Give me some advice on, how to improve my videos. Or just hit the comment button and say, hey, there is no comment button. Okay. But just write a comment and say what you'd like to see me research next, and I will get on that as soon as possible. As soon as I find a way to stop researching shit on my phone so it doesn't take so long to load. Fucking Google. Lawsuit. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you on the next episode of whatever I decide to do next. Goodbye.